Margaret's Lookout, dedicated to Arthur's mother. The day was starting to test me. The word coincidence felt insufficient to explain what was happening. It was after that first conversation with Leonard Shoulder that I started entertaining thoughts of a truly irrational nature. What if my dream wasn't just a dream? What if it was all more than simple coincidence? What if that thing really could help my father? Good day, little one. Hello? What's this? A fiddle bow? There's no string. My name is Thomasina. What's yours? Don't be shy. I don't mean you any harm. What are you doing out here all alone on the moors? Do you live here? Would you like me to fix your bow so you can play your fiddle again? Yes? Hey! Most peculiar. Perhaps I can mend the bow for her. If memories of my childhood violin lessons serve me right, bowstring is made from animal hair coated in a waxy resin. The strings don't vibrate without it. I'm not sure what that would achieve. Mr. Shoulder told me he'd be at the Plough and Furrow. Hello, Wally.
Go away! You gave the door back to my sister.
It wasn't very nice of you to bury her favourite toy, Wally.
I gave it to the fair folk, and you stole it back from them.
You don't really believe in fairies, do you? You're old enough to know better.
They're real, and thanks to you, I'm cursed.
There's no such thing as curses either, Wally.
Go away!
This is where I dug up Jane's ragdoll.
Mummy?
Get away from the fire, Thomasina.
What are you burning?
Nothing. Just waste. Now go inside.
Abrax. Mummy, What is this?
Waste. Burn it.
Good day, Mr. Bryden.
Miss,
I...
I'll stop you there. I know what you're going to ask. No, I haven't changed my mind. There'll be no digging here, lass.
Mr. Bryden, allow me to explain. There has been an astonishing development this morning.
Yes?
My father was with your brother during the excavation.
Oh,
Yes. Can you believe it? I had no idea he had been here.
the answer's still no, lass. I saw what happened to poor Samuel. I won't risk the same happening to anyone else.
But
That's enough now. You can feast your eyes on that hovel to your heart's content, but there'll be no digging.
what do you make of this stone, Mr. Bryden? It was strapped to my father's journal.
Wait a minute. Let me see that. By God. Wait here a moment. I need to get something from inside.
I waited for what felt like an age. I now realised that Mr. Bryden must have been in a great debate with himself, wondering whether or not to share his own piece of the mystery with me. The goat stared at me, seemingly in pity, as I stood there in that rolling fog. Finally, Mr. Bryden emerged.
Now then, as far as I know, what I have here is the only thing that Samuel brought back from Barra. Take a look.
A pear!
That's been in my drawer ever since Samuel passed. I suppose it might be important, so I kept it safe. Fate is clearly playing a part in your arrival, lass.
Please, Mr. Bryden, allow me to excavate Hobbs Barrow, a place that is no more than dirt and stone.
You're not gonna give up, are you, lass?
I'm not.
Samuel managed to say one thing about those men that helped him. I think it's time I tell you.
Yes?
He stuttered out that one of those fellows could barely walk after they got out of there. Tongue-tied too, the man were.
My father.
You what?
My father. He had an accident around 25 years ago that left him bedbound and unable to talk.
Aye, could be him.
My mother told me it happened in a horse riding accident.
Samuel boarded up that barra for a reason. Something unnatural occurred, I know it.
Mr. Bryden, we must rely on our rational faculties to explain any...
Promise me you'll be careful. Any sign of trouble, leave without hesitation and we board that accursed place up again. Understood?
Wait, you're giving me permission to excavate?
Aye. Against me better judgment. I don't have the energy to stop you, lass.
Thank you so much. I am grateful.
Don't make me regret my decision. Take Samuel's stone.
Are you sure?
Aye. Give it back to me when you're finished, though.
I promise. Thank you. I'll be sure to show you my discoveries, Mr. Bryden.
I'd rather you don't. Now then, I've got things to get on with.
I don't suppose you can spare any labour to help me with the dig?
Don't push your luck, lass. Market's on today. Plenty of able-bodied men about. Ta-ra now.
And like that, I finally had permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow. As exciting as that was, I was distracted by what Mr. Bryden said of his brother's associate. There was no doubt in my mind that father was the stricken man he spoke of. You told me he was crippled after coming off his horse. Why did you lie to me? To protect me? To stop me from following in his footsteps? You failed. And so did Charles Bryden. He should have said no. He should have never given me that stone.
Joe, perhaps you've had enough sugar?
Don't you start and all.
Hello again, Mr. Shoulder.
Miss Behrman.
Mr. Bryden has given me permission to excavate Hobbs Barrow.
Marvellous. I'm sorry you've had to sort all this out in my absence. When do we start?
Tomorrow, I hope. But first I need to recruit some locals to assist with the dig. It's too much work for me to do on my own.
I see. Bewley has its fair share of strapping young lads. You'll find assistance, Miss Bateman.
What else can you tell me about this Saxnot?
Try not to worry yourself too much with these old stories. Leave those to the locals, Miss Bateman.
Have others spoken of goblins appearing in their dreams?
A dream is a dream, that is all. They merely make for good stories.
I know.
But to answer your question, no, not to my knowledge.
Tell me about yourself, Mr. Shoulder.
I'm sure the locals have filled you in already, lass.
You cut quite the mysterious figure. Most had little to say.
It's true, I do tend to keep my head down. When one gets to my age, one grows very comfortable in one's home. I like the isolation of the moors. I wouldn't change it for anything.
I take it you don't get many visitors.
Oh no, nobody bothers me. That's the perk of living so far out, huh? Just me and me hens. I used to come into Bewley more often, back before my health went to bugger, eh?
What do you think of Bewley?
Whilst one could consider the villages to be rather unenlightened, this place has its charm. The market's in town today. You can see that folk want for nowt here.
I know where I can find a Scotch egg, that's for certain.
Do treat yourself to one. You'll not taste better.
Is there anything else I should know about Hobbs Barrow, Mr. Shoulder?
No, lass. I'm certain we will know a lot more about it by this time tomorrow.
I hope so. What else can you tell me about the previous excavation?
I think I covered it earlier, Miss Bateman. As you yourself said, it were a time of superstitious hysteria.
What was it like, living in that period of hysteria?
I kept to myself. It didn't really affect me. My hens stayed healthy and their eggs kept me well fed. If one can keep a level head in such situations, one can get by.
Indeed. Is there anything else I should be aware of before my own excavation? No other ghouls I should be worried about?
You know the answer to that. The corruption in that soil were all in the minds of men.
What do you make of Lord Panswick?
His lordship is an important man in Bewley, as I'm sure you have gathered. His family has commanded much respect here for many generations.
Do you respect him as a leader?
I do. He wants the best for the village. Without his influence, the railway line would have never come through here.
Does he want more visitors?
Aye, I believe so. He has great ambitions for Bewley and wants to share them with the world.
What do you make of Mildred Walker?
Who?
I believe she's also known as Mother Mildred.
Oh, we used to get about when we were children. Our paths have not crossed in a long while.
What do you think of Charles Bryden?
He is a decent man. It must have been hard for him after that terrible business with his brother.
Without a doubt. I must say I had assumed you had at least spoken to him about my visit.
Sorry, lass, I had no intention of giving you the runaround. Again, I can only apologise.
If you don't mind me asking, what is the nature of your ongoing illness?
Oh, just the ravages of age. Getting off this bench will be a small battle in itself. Something you won't need to worry about for many a year, Miss Bateman.
Growing old is a blessing and a curse. And what of your recent fever?
An ordeal it were. So much tossing and turning. But I'm right as rain now, especially after a mug of ale. Don't worry about me.
What are Lord Panswick's plans for Bewley?
He's rebuilding an old chapel on his estate. He seeks to bring God back to these lands.
But what of St. Edmunds? I think Father Roach might argue God has never left.
Indeed. Let's leave such arguments to them, shall we?
Thank you for your time.
Aye, Miss Bateman. I'm looking forward to tomorrow.
You found old Leonard, I see.
Yes, finally. I've had some rather unbelievable news, Stanley.
Oh? Remarkable.
Quite the coincidence, is it not?
Remarkable. Just remarkable.
Do you recall my father from back then?
I'm afraid those were my droving days, you see. I didn't spend much time in Bewley, but an interesting turn of events nonetheless.
What do you know of Mother Mildred?
I'll tell you what I know about Mother Mildred. She wants locking up.
How so?
She owes me a small fortune on her tab from years ago. Do remind her next time you see her, won't you?
I'd rather not get involved, if you don't mind.
Be careful who you trust, Miss Bateman.
Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
No, I can't say it does.
Goodbye.
See you soon.
Hello?
Oh, aye, she's back again. Can't a man drink his tea in peace? There's nought for you here, lass.
Horrible man. How many more sugar cubes is he going to add to his tea? He'll have no teeth left by the end of the day.
Hands off me, sugar.
I think this is supposed to be for all the patrons, sir.
I said hands off.
Come on, Joe. Be nice to our visitors.
Ha! This place has gone to buggery.
I prefer my tea hot and fresh. No, that won't achieve anything useful. Good day.
Fresh produce.
What have you got for sale?
I'm selling meat, vegetables, and all sorts of herbs and things. You're welcome to have a gander.
I'll be sure to browse. Goodbye.
Ta-ra, miss.
Good day.
Freshly picked apples, miss. Would you like to try one on the house like?
Yes, please.
Here you are, miss.
The apple looks somewhat rotten. It's riddled with holes.
Can I interest you in a pie? Finest mutton in all the county. 2p each.
No, thank you.
You're missing out. Mutton pies!
Hello, Miss Tompkins.
Hello.
We weren't introduced earlier. My name is Thomasina.
Ma'am,
How do you fare, Miss Tompkins?
I'm waiting for Mr. Ambrose. Have you seen him?
Who's that?
The milkman. Miss Fenchurch will be ever so cross if I've no milk for his lordship.
I'm afraid I haven't seen him. You are in the employ of Lord Panswick.
Aye, he employs Arthur Bewley in one way or another.
I'm in need of some help for my excavation. Do you think his lordship could lend me some of his labourers?
Maybe.
Might you introduce me to him?
Sorry, ma'am, but his lordship doesn't take visitors. Any road, I must wait here for Mr. Ambrose. Miss Fenchurch will be ever so cross if I've no milk for his lordship.
If Mr. Ambrose doesn't turn up and I find you some milk, would you be able to introduce me to Lord Panswick?
His lordship really doesn't like visitors, ma'am.
I'll take the risk.
Miss Fenchurch will be cross with me. But she'll be even crosser if I come back without fresh milk.
So, do we have a deal?
Aye, bring me some milk and I'll take you to his lordship.
Thank you.
But hopefully Mr. Ambrose will arrive soon.
Have you been waiting long for Mr. Ambrose?
Aye, he should have been here a good 2 hours ago. He's here every market day, you see. He sells only the freshest milk. Miss Fenchurch swears by it. I hope misfortune hasn't befallen him on his way here.
I'm sure he will turn up.
Oh, I hope so.
Are you familiar with Hobbs Barrow?
What's that?
Never mind. What do you make of these stones?
Oh, gives me the creeps.
Why?
Dunno, just a feeling.
Who is Miss Fenchurch?
His lordship's housekeeper.
I'll let you know if I find some fresh milk.
Thank you, ma'am. But tell me if you see Mr. Ambrose, won't you?
I will. Good day.
Hey up.
Look at this, Mr. Crozier. It's my father's journal.
Oh, aye? Why are you showing me?
Did you slip it under my door last night?
Ha! Have you gone daft? Why would I have your father's journal?
Never mind. Did the sketches inside mean anything to you?
Looks like a load of rubbish to me.
I found out my father visited Bewley 25 years ago. William Bateman, perhaps you remember him?
I would have been just a lad. What were you here for?
That's what I intend to find out. What do you make of these stones?
Don't look like out to me.
Are you familiar with any local folklore?
Oh, aye. The old cobbler used to tell me some right stories. Swore he sold a pair of boots to a goblin when he were a young man.
A goblin, you say? I take it this cobbler was a regular at the Plough and Furrow?
Never drank a day in his life. Sober as a judge. Have you been to the Devil's Toe?
Yes, I'm familiar with the cairn.
Some say they've seen the goblin's daughter there, playing her fiddle.
How peculiar. I met a girl near there earlier. She gave me this broken fiddle bow.
Ha! Well, you've experienced the local folklore firsthand then, lass.
Do you know any other stories about this goblin?
I don't have the time to be standing here gossiping about old wives' tales.
Apologies. Do you have any fresh milk going spare?
I'm a blacksmith, not a cattle farmer.
Quite. Does the name Saxnot mean anything to you?
Never heard of it. What is it?
Never mind. Thanks for your time.
Aye. Speak to you later.